In today's video, we continue to mount various gear onto the modified roof rack. We begin by putting a 2-stage water filter from ClearSource onto the middle of the rack between the 2 cargo cases. I think I'm just going to mount it with the frame that it comes with right on the roof rack as so. Okay, I mean this thing is pretty beefy, pretty robust, built like a tank really. And if I mount it this way, I can drill down through here and here, 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. Use the T-slots. I can slide it back and forth if I needed to. I can easily take it off to service it, which would be really just swapping out the filters occasionally. And it's out of the way. I think it's fully protected from the elements. I mean, if it rains, so what? It's a water filter. It's going to get wet. That's not a big deal. I'm not really too concerned about anything else. If something falls from the sky, like a tree branch or something, that's going to be fine. So it looks like what we'll do is just drill those holes, bolt it in, and we should have enough room here for the connectors. I'll put a quick connector in there and one on the other side over here. We'll try it out and see how it goes. I have all the hardware I need. I'm going to be using these bolts, 1/4 20, about 1/2 inch. They're a little too long. I couldn't get 3/8 of an inch. So I'll bump them up with these washers, and I'm going to use these nuts, and I think I may have mentioned these in the past. These are the kind of nuts you can use when you don't have the ones pre-inserted, and I could take these out and slide in the normal ones, like I have one over here for some reason, a couple over here. But I want just to show you how these work. These work great when you don't want to take everything apart. I do have a lot of these extra in my kit. So they basically are spring-loaded. They have a little ball here and the hole, and they're 1/2 barrel. And you just kind of slip them in, and you can do that. And they'll hold. If you have a vertical piece with the spring, there's a spring-loaded bearing inside right here. So it'll hold its place. But here's no problem. So we just kind of want to slide it to about where we think that the bolt's going to be, say about there. And we're going to have the second one will be here, that about there, and then 2 in this slot here. Oh, that one went in pretty easily. Throw that down there, and this one here. Okay, so we have all 4 close enough to where the 4 holes that I drilled on the housing for the water filter exist. So they're all set. They're ready to go. They've been painted so they don't rust. They should be all good to go. As I said, I'm going to use these nuts. So basically, I'm just going to take this. Now, I'll also, as I have said before, I've loosened these up. These can slide either way. So I can get them lined up, and then I can tighten them after the fact, which is really nice. And then I'm not sure exactly how close I'm going to end up putting it to this box. I'm going to have a box on this side as well. So for now, I'll just kind of leave it in the center, which I think is going to work, just to try it out, and then we can always modify it. So this thing is a beast. I think it's close to 30 pounds. Very well made, robust unit. I'm going to line that up there, and it looks like this has to be slid out a little bit. So I'll just do this, and I'll probably have to I'll start with one of them. I'm going to start with this one closest to me over here. I'll see if I can move the camera so you can see how that works out. It's going to be a little hard to get in there, but let's try it. Okay, I've got the bolt and the washer preloaded. I've got the nut floating right about here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I'm going to push it up actually a little bit here so you can see it. And I'm just going to drop this on top. Try to get to the right spot. And then just use the wrench and screw it in. Turns out I need an 11mm socket. See if I can get in there. I won't be able to get in there from here. I'm going to have to move the camera. So you'll just have to take my word for it. I'm going to bolt down all 4 corners, and I'll show you the final product. Okay, it's all bolted down. All the sliding arms have been adjusted properly and tightened to the crossbars. Crossbars here. Looks pretty good. It's in there solid. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. But that's this thing is a beast. I'm just moving this, and the whole trailer's moving. So I'm not too concerned about that. In fact, I'm probably more concerned about taking it down if I need to service these canisters. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. So I've got the quick disconnect fittings installed on this side, and you can see the other side. And let's see how much clearance we have. I may end up putting 90-degree elbows to give it a little bit more clearance once the boxes have been finally placed, but we'll see how that turns out. Okay, I've got the two hoses hooked up. The one on the left is the input to the two-stage filter system. As you can see, I've just got it hanging here on the floor. I don't have a water source to hook it up to in this area, so we'll have to test it out sometime else. And then the other side is the outlet, and that's hooked up to this jumper. I think it's about 10 feet. And then this will go over here to the water supply port inside the door here. That'll stick in there. So then all you do is just turn on them from the water source. It'll go through the filter, back down around and in. And once it starts overflowing through the vent tube over here, and then we'll know it's filled, and we'll shut it down. I'll probably put an inline valve to stop it. Maybe I'll put one right here so I don't have to worry about running back to the water source. I can just stand here, let it fill up, see how long it takes, and then just turn it off here, and then turn it off at the water source, and then take the pressure off and drain the hoses, whatever the water's left, and disconnect and put them away. And then that'll just sit up there as such. So pretty straightforward install. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. So now we've gotten one box up, the water filter up. We're gonna hit the 230 box, the 102 liter one that was just sent to me. We'll get that up on the roof next. Well, the procedure for installing the second box on the top of the rack is pretty much the same as what we did for the first Rome case a couple of episodes ago. We basically measure out where we want to place the 6 holes, drill out the holes to accommodate the nuts and bolts, and then place the rack on top in the spot that we want it, and use the T-slot nuts and bolts to secure it down onto the rack. Fortunately, there was just enough room between the two cases for the water filter, and the lids on both cases, which open inwardly, had just enough room to open up. All right, this is a view of the roof bar now with both gearboxes installed, the water filter right in the middle of them. Everything fits just perfectly with just enough clearance to open the boxes on each side. Next, we're going to install the Darchi shower cube on this side of the roof rack. Okay, after unboxing the Darchi Eclipse Cube shower tent, everything is here on the table. Of course, we have the shower tent right here, mounting brackets, a couple of auxiliary mounting brackets, lots of hardware, nuts and bolts, so things like that. They even give you the wrenches that you may need. This device here is nice. It hangs somewhere in the shower to hold your shower head with the hose attachment. 4 stakes for the 4 corners, a nice stake bag, and it looks like this is a little bungee cord for inside for hanging different things. And I'm just going to take a quick look over here at the brackets that I'm installing them on. I have plenty of room. I'm going to use the T-slot hardware to mount this into the T-slot bar here. That'll fit. If I want to shorten it up a little bit later on, I can cut off probably 1.5 inches, and this would come up against there. I could even do that now if I had to, but I'll try to keep that flat. So we'll see how far out it goes. And if I want to come out farther, obviously I have a little bit more room there, but I don't think so. I think that's the farthest I want to come out. So we'll take it from there. Let's see. You can do it a couple of ways. You can mount it this way to raise it higher, or this way so it drops down lower. I think I'll start out mounting it higher. So to install this bracket onto the T-slot roof bar, we're going to use this kind of a setup instead of the bolts they provide, which are really meant to clamp down on a bar. This is going to slide right into the T-slot quite nicely. So it's really just this small bolt about that size with a washer, and then we take the nut that can slide right into the T-slot or drop in either way. And right now we'll just thread it this way, just a couple of threads, and then this whole unit will slide in. All right, we're just going to slide this in. A little crimp cord is here, but hopefully I have enough slack on the nuts to just slide those right in to the T-slot. If not, there we go, there's one. Okay, that is not going anywhere.